Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Season 1 of Reginald the Vampire, and this is a new SyFy original series focusing on Jacob Batalon's Reginald, who winds up becoming a vampire. And in this world, all the vampires are fit, beautiful, and vain people who are absolutely disgusted by the fact that there is an overweight vampire. Disgusting. I just feel like I get what they're going for here and trying to have this commentary on body shaming and body positivity, and I just felt it got annoying after a while where all these vampires are like, ugh, he's fat, gross, and you're just like, who gives a crap? And like, that's the crux of the conflict. It's like, how dare he become a vampire? Look at him. He doesn't look good. And like, that level of conflict there, just, it didn't give enough weight to like the motivations for them to hate him in this show. And that kind of just got annoying after a while. And the overall story here is you have Reginald, who, you know, has things that he's interested in, like Sarah, played by M. Hain, and like he wants to be with her, but now he's a vampire, has to keep that from her. He's trying to balance his vampire life and trying to make a relationship with her, and while also throughout a decent chunk of this season having this very attractive, intense vampire assassin also fall in love with him. So like, crazy love triangle. And, you know, this show deals with a lot of stereotypes of teenage romance shows, which that's really what this is, all wrapped up in vampire stuff because, you know, nothing is more important to add to a teenage romance than having vampires. Thanks, Twilight. And this season had some episodes that I felt like really stood out and were interesting and dynamic and did something different. In particular, I personally felt like the second to last episode was really cool, where he goes into like this hotel and has to deal with this whole entire like test to try to find this one vampire who might be able to turn him back human. And that's the interesting journey that you have Reginald going on, is like, he doesn't want to be a vampire, he wants to get back to being a human being. And throughout this season, that's the big crux of his journey. There's a bit of style to the show. There's a bit of fun to the show. It's a lot of young actors that I think are all getting some great opportunities here. Some of them are stronger than others. You do have this big overarching story of like, they want to do away with him because he's a disgrace to vampires, which I mentioned before is kind of not the greatest motivation here. Don't really buy into it. It's just kind of annoying after a while. But I do think that this show has fun. Jacob Batalon, I think, is a lot of fun as Reginald. Reginald does make a lot of mistakes in his own right and doesn't treat people exactly how they should be treated. A lot of tropes and cliches from a lot of shows of like this kind. Here, it's just not the strongest like written show. It uses a lot of cheap cliches and tropes. It's not the strongest acted show. Some of the actors are stronger than others, but in the end, I feel like this is a passable little teenage vampire romp that has some cool elements to it, and they also balance out with some things that really bog it down. So if you're really into vampire stuff, give this one a try. I don't think this is going to find a whole lot of converts though. But those are my thoughts on Reginald the Vampire. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some TV. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.